England head coach-in-waiting should Dean Richards be considered as Eddie Jones' successor? Getty Images. When Eddie Jones heads off into retirement after the 2019 World Cup in Japan, a decision will have been made on who will succeed the Australian. There are now no guarantees it will be an Englishman, but there are plenty of candidates. Rob Baxter the favorite. Andy Farrell a strong contender. Paul Gostard possibly. Jim Allender doubtful. Dean Richards no chance. And this would be an absolute scandal. Dean Richards has enjoyed his spell with Newcastle. Getty Images. There are those who say that Richards is forever tainted by Bloodgate from his time at Harlequins and therefore untouchable. How can you appoint someone who cheated? What sort of message would that send out? The fact is Richards did a good job at Quins before the Bloodgate scandal, leading them back to the Premiership at the first attempt and turning them into title contenders. He was then caught out, punished, banned for 3 years, and given a second chance by a relegated Newcastle Falcons side. And guess what? He led them back to the Premiership at the first attempt, and with one of the smallest budgets in the league, has slowly transformed a side with no big names to speak of into challengers. Who will succeed Eddie Jones as England head coach? This does not happen by luck. It happens because Richards, like Baxter, is a coach who gets the best out of his players, who draws out every last drop of talent. Imagine what he could do with a team of international stars. If the RFU turn to an Englishman, then Richards and Baxter are the best options and should be the favorites to replace Jones. Richards did the crime, but served his time in the RFU. Would be foolhardy to ignore a man of his coaching talents just because it might not be good PR. Giles Moll. No, there is no question that Dean Richards is an outstanding coach. His work at Harlequins was hugely impressive, and his achievements at Newcastle even more so. 3 wins from 4 this season, the most recent an exhilarating victory at the Rec, have made people take notice of Newcastle this season. And if Eddie Jones were to leave his post tomorrow, then there would be few more qualified to succeed him than one of England's great NO8s. The controversial substitution that triggered Bloodgate takes place during the game between Harlequins and Leinster in 2009. Getty Images. But the spectre of Bloodgate hangs over Richards and would surely make it impossible for him to get the top job. In an era where image counts for almost as much as achievement, it would be a huge leap of faith for the RFU to turn to Richards, and one that would unleash a howl of protest inside and outside the game. There is no need to go over the details, but Bloodgate left a stain on the sport and on Richards' reputation. Having served his time, it is unquestionably right that he is back in the game, but giving him the top job in English rugby would be a step too far. Eddie Jones has said he will leave his post after the 2019 World Cup. Henry Brown. Action Images via Reuters. Richards is also on record as saying that he wouldn't want the post, but any coach worth their salt would surely be tempted if it were offered. The past weighs too heavily in this case, however. Richards as England coach is a route the RFU simply cannot go down, no matter how impressive his achievements in the Northeast. Julian Bennett's whose side are you on? Should Dean Richards be considered? Have your say in the comment section below.